I'm Claudia Catania, and you're listening to Playing on Air. You are about to hear Carry the Zero, written by Christopher Sullivan and directed by John Giampietro. It features David Gellis and Arielle Goldman. The play contains some mature subject matter. We are in a car. A teenage boy is driving. A teenage girl sits on the passenger side.
Does the bus come all the way out here?
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess it has to.
I get rides to school.
From who?
What?
Who do you get rides from?
Joe Healy. Sometimes James Stage.
James Stage.
Are you friends with him?
No. I mean, I like him. He's cool.
He's fat.
Yeah, whatever.
Your friend Tom is fat. So? Just saying.
That condom was weird.
Why?
It was all like, it was different than the other ones, the Trojan ones. More of a circle. It was like one of those things that are on the bottom of the things you get for a quarter.
What are you talking about?
Do you want another cigarette?
Okay.
How long have you been smoking for?
I'm not sure. You?
Like a few months. Last year, last winter. I can't remember the first one I had, but I remember being in John Hammond's car, coming back from the cafe after a show, and smoking one he bummed me. We were pretty high, and it felt like it amplified it. Like a megaphone. It was super cold out. It was a cool...
What?
It was a cool cigarette. That's funny.
Cools are gay.
I know. I'm sorry.
For what?
I don't know. For like just bringing you up there and...
Oh, whatever.
I didn't know we were gonna... And it was just my mom was gonna be home soon.
Whatever.
It felt good. Do you like living out here by the black dirt?
I mean, it's okay. It's not like I picked it. It's far away from stuff, hard to get rides.
Yeah. I'll give you rides sometimes.
Cool.
Have you thought about college at all?
I'm only gonna be a sophomore. Are you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I guess. I know these kids who are applying to like 15 schools. I don't even know one yet. I don't think it's as big of a deal as they make it. We're all gonna get in somewhere. Just take it like one step, you know? High school, college, then you get a job.
What's your job gonna be?
Oh man, who knows?
You'll probably be mad rich.
Yeah, right.
Dude, totally.
No way. I don't care about that.
Everyone cares about that.
Not me. I mean, I want to be comfortable.
I want to be rich. I'll probably work at some stupid bar here.
No.
Dude, I got a 39 in Math A. I barely passed last year. I just finished summer school like 2 weeks ago. I just can't wait to be freaking done with school. I don't want to go to college. My parents didn't go to college.
What do they do?
My dad works at the auto store, and my mom's got, like, something wrong with her leg or something and can't work.
So you don't want to leave here?
No, why would I?
Because there's just more, you know?
Where?
I mean, like, everywhere. You can go anywhere.
Maybe you can.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Your house was really nice. I like your dog.
Me too.
I can't believe I sent you those messages.
What do you mean?
Those texts. That was so slutty of me.
No, it wasn't.
Kind of.
I mean, you didn't say anything slutty.
I said I thought you were hot.
That's not slutty.
I said I walked by your locker and checked you out all the time.
That's not slutty.
I can't believe I said that.
Oh, whatever. I thought it was cool. No one's ever...
What?
No, just... No one's ever been that, like...
Slutty?
No. Direct, I guess. I like it. I wish girls were more like that.
Is Amanda like that?
Who?
Amanda Graham? You like her, right?
No. Who said that?
Oh, you just hung out with her all the time, and I saw you give her a Christmas present last year at her locker, even though she's going out with Billy Stuber.
She was like one of my best friends.
Well, what happened?
Nothing.
You said she was. I heard she wants to kick your ass.
Really? From who?
Jess.
His sister?
Yeah. But he said you were too much a girl anyway.
Whoa, okay.
What? That's what he said, I heard.
Yeah, well, screw him. And screw Jess. That whole family's a mess.
What's wrong with their family?
I went over there once freshman year, and it's like dogs everywhere, and their mom used to be in a cult or something.
Yeah, well, everyone knows that.
Look, are you mad?
No, I'm not mad.
Are you weird?
I'm not weird. Are you weird?
No, I just... Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Did it feel good?
What?
When we had sex before.
Yeah. It felt good.
Cool. Was it fast?
No? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it like that with that girl on the cruise?
I guess.
Did she go down on you?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Did you think I was gonna do that?
I don't know.
Tell the truth.
Well, actually, yeah, kind of.
Oh. Are you mad I didn't?
No, I don't care.
So you thought I did that a lot?
No.
'Cause I heard someone say I did that a lot.
Who would say that?
Kids. On my bus.
Oh.
That was just a stupid rumor that those stupid girls spread. I've actually never done that before. Is that weird?
No. I mean, I've only gotten one. It's like they say, there's plenty of time in life for oral sex.
Who says that?
No one actually says that. Who was the other guy?
What?
The other guy you said you had sex with.
Oh. James Stage.
Oh. Is it a left here?
Oh, right.
You're really all the way out here. I think the car ride is longer than actually hanging out. That was a joke.
Sorry. Sometimes I don't get jokes. I went to that comedy show you were in.
Oh, that was so stupid.
Yeah, kind of. Everyone was laughing at parts, and I just didn't get it. I thought it was just... dumb.
Maybe you're smarter than everyone.
Was that a joke?
I don't think so.
Man, those girls are so showy. Cara Reeves and Vicky Banker. I hate people like that. Always showing off. I liked the thing you did, though, about dolphin sex. That was funny. That was when I first noticed you.
Oh. Thanks. Tom says in 10 years, this place is going to be a restaurant mecca.
What's a mecca?
Like a big place, I guess. There'll be bars, and people are going to come from other towns to hang out here. There'll be taxis to bring them to hotels in Middletown.
Yeah, that's funny. City people coming to hang out in the black dirt.
No, for real. I can see it. It'll be super fancy, and there'll be cool bars, and we'll all come home from school and drink there.
Legally?
Yeah. I'll, run into you on the back porch somewhere, and I'll bum you a cigarette.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And then you'll whisper in your friend's ear something, and I'll totally call you out on it.
Shut up.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, I totally had sex with him when we were in high school, and he drove me home, and we talked about, college, and the black dirt, and blowjobs, and nothing. And then I'll be like, oh, you know that time in high school I brought you over to my house for 20 minutes, and it was mad weird, and we had sex, and yeah, I lost my virginity to you.
And I guess I'll say I lost my virginity to you, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's up here. You can drop me off at the park.
Okay. You're so worried about what other people are worried about until nothing adds up.
You're so weird.
It's the song. The words to it, I like to say them. This is my favorite song. I think it will be for the rest of my life.
It's nice.
And that night, in 10 years, I'll listen to this song on the way back home.
Okay.
There's James Stage and Mark Lucas.
Yeah, we're supposed to hang out.
Oh, cool. You have really cool hands.
You're funny.
Why?
I don't know.
No, when we first started kissing and I was holding them, I was like, these are really nice. They fit good. That wasn't a joke.
I know. I'll see you.
Hey, don't, walk a different way to get to class now.
What do you mean?
So you wouldn't pass my locker.
It's a new school year. You don't know where your locker's gonna be.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
They're looking at us.
Do you think they're mad?
I don't care. They'll probably ask what we're talking about.
Tell them hands. And math.
Good luck with applying for colleges and stuff.
Yeah. I'll see you.
You just heard Carry the Zero, written by Christopher Sullivan and directed by John Giampietro. It featured David Gellis as Mark and Arielle Goldman as Nicole. We're here with playwright Christopher Sullivan, director John Giampietro, David Gellis, who played Mark, and Arielle Goldman, who played
Nicole.
This play is called Carry the Zero, Chris, which is a fantastic title. Where did it come from, and why did you use it?
Well, I can't take credit for it. It's actually the title of a Built to Spill song, which originally was worked into the script, and it was a song that my senior year of high school I listened to a lot, and it just has a very nostalgic feel for me whenever I hear it. And the play, there's some kind of references to math in it, and I thought it was just kind of a fitting title for it.
Director John Giampietro, if you were directing this play for the stage and money were no object, what would the set look like?
That's a great question. Well, we're in a car the whole time, which is always actually difficult on a stage. So I think, and it's a very intimate play, so you would have to sort of balance of what you see outside of the car, because it's of great importance, the environment, especially this idea of the black dirt, and what does that mean? Do we see it, or does it just sort of exist in our own minds? So I don't know. It would, I guess there'd be a lot of projections involved, maybe. But I do think the black dirt should be left to the audience's imagination, because it's so evocative and it's going to be so personal for each person.
Why did you pick black dirt, Chris?
There's a part of the town I'm from in upstate New York, it's called Pine Island, and they grow a lot of onions there and other stuff, but mostly known for the onions. And it's the dirt that's black, and there's just huge fields that you can see when you're driving of just black dirt, and so it's just a very kind of familiar thing for the people who live there. That's out in the black dirt, that's just where the crops grow.
I'm not sure how much older you are, David and Arielle, than the characters you play, but do you think the mores and pressure about sex were about the same then as they are now?
The initial human impulse and maturation into sex is the same, but I think as more and more media development occurs and images are more available to young people, not just of sex but of nudity or pornography and how normal it becomes, I think that has an effect on probably teenagers' sexuality and how they relate to the opposite sex in terms of in a respectful way, or if they understand what's going on or not.
David, do you remember feeling pressures of what will I do with my life? Do I go to college? How do I handle sex kind?
Yes, I do. I think for me, the pressures of like, what will I do with my life, and those sort of responsibilities, for the most part, outweigh the sexual responsibilities. That being said, it was always like, especially if you're a teenage boy, the idea is to have sex, right? It's like, so you try, and I remember that being like everybody's trying to compare, and you're like, oh, I haven't done that yet. No.
Did people lie a lot?
Oh yeah, for sure, right? Yeah. To make yourself look good, so you're one of the team, right?
It
yeah,
was
that's
always
a very
great, right? Dave?
Teenagers always.
Instant messaging crops up a lot in this play. Nicole and Mark establish a rapport online before meeting. Did you do a lot of IMing as a teenager? And Chris, do you think, or all of you, do you think that IMing will impact how we write as a people and even in a professional way?
Totally, yeah. I mean, I started using AOL Instant Messenger when I was like 12 or 13, and it immediately just transformed the way I interacted with my friends and even other peers. And now kids have Facebook and Twitter, and it's like, it just grows and grows. And I think we're already seeing the way it's affected like TV shows now. Like I'm thinking of House of Cards or something, where they'll have text messages show up on screen, and it's totally common. And like even in playwriting right now, I'm writing a play where there's IMing in it, and it's in texting, and it's like we're trying to figure out how to show that, and you can't avoid it. And I don't think you should avoid it because people talk so much that way that like.
Do you think it's like made us difficult to communicate with each other?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well,
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Because I just remember in high school, if I would IM like with a boy or something, you feel, because it's such an open forum, so safe to say whatever you want with each other, and it's so private. But then, like, for a week, I couldn't talk to him in school.
Yeah.
Because it's like, only you two know that you shared that.
Yeah, but the alternative, right, is like things that you wouldn't say to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Things that you wouldn't say face to face, you would probably say in text. So at least it's like out there. Like the communication is different, but at least it's
maybe like
there.
Our wiring just hasn't discovered a way to.
Yeah, but I think that's like totally changing, right? Because there's used to be so many rules, right, of what you could do over text and what you couldn't. Like you weren't allowed to break up with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Over text. But now you totally can.
No, you definitely should not break
I know.
up with
Yeah.
someone.
I'm not saying you should, but like,
Yeah.
But people do now, right? And I think it's sort of more accepted now than it. I think.
Yeah,
as
it's
time
slowly
goes
breaking.
on.
There's a funny quote in the movie While We're Young where they're talking about, they're like, remember how a few years ago pulling out your cell phone at dinner was rude and now it's not? It's like, yeah, it's kind of true.
And yeah, I apologize if this gets a little out there, but one of the things I like about it, the trade-off is we're a little less eloquent and specific with our words. But the positive side of that is like now with things like, emojis, emoticons, you're always texting something and then displaying like a face or how you feel about it, which kind of tries to make it more like real life, And so what I like about that, of course, I guess being an actor or the person I am, is that now communication through words has become more of an experience in that like there's a shortcut. Like instead of the word being a barrier between my thought and you, now I can just make a face. Mm-hmm. It's more of this like everybody now that they're using texting, that with that less consideration about what I'm saying comes a more experiential.
So then it requires less from the actual human being to emote to another human being.
Yeah.
Well, but doesn't it just make up? It is a total problem, but doesn't it makes up for tone though, right? Emojis.
But
right?
how about sincerity? I mean, you send a little picture like, "Oh, I feel so bad," but does that mean you feel so bad?
I don't know.
Well, it's the same thing if you like. I don't believe half the things people tell me to my face. So it depends. I don't know.
But you can trust your judgment looking at someone's face.
That's true. That is true. We read our little micro facial movements. Yeah.
And how do you communicate complex thought? IMing.
Well, you can write a long thought I guess. Like, you know, I've had some of the most like intense conversations in my life online, and like I work in an office and I'll like G-chat all day with my friends and like have very serious conversations and get to know people really well that way. And I've had friendships that became better friendships because of the time I spent talking online to them. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and texting and IMing are also a little different. Like, I'm a very curt texter. I don't enjoy long text conversations. I just like to get to the point. But if I'm, like, online and just sitting on my computer, I can type away.
Didn't they predict the email would be the death of all communication?
Right,
I mean, that's what they were predicting when email first, happened.
Well, they're right about spelling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going back to the
spelling,
days of pre-printing press, where, isn't that quaint?
But that's an online thing. If you pick up any newspaper that's online, every single article will have some sort of typo in it.
Even printed.
Yeah.
It's the speed of things.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you're also a musician, I understand.
Yeah.
And you organize shows where music sets alternate with short plays. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about
Sure.
this idea?
Yeah. For the past few years, under the name Pony Show Presents, I do these shows where there'll be short plays and bands at venues that don't typically have theater events. And the idea, I've always played in bands and liked that atmosphere and found that theater can be kind of stuffy and expensive, and people just who go and see their friend's band for $6 aren't going to pay $50 to see some off-Broadway play in Midtown. They don't know about it, they're not interested in it, and so their idea of theater can be like Broadway musicals or like super avant-garde or something. So it's been fun to kind of show people a short, accessible one-act play, and sometimes we do them in between sets from local bands or touring bands. Sometimes we'll do an hour of theater and then 3 or 4 bands, and it's always a lot of fun, and it's just very messy and casual, and people are like coming and going and drinking, and it's been really rewarding doing it.
John, where do you feel the connection lies between your sensibilities and Chris? Because I've known you've worked together before. You just did a show called Metro Cards, a Youngblood production at EST.
That's a great question. I don't know. Sometimes you just work with someone, maybe just for the first time, and it just feels right, or you just get it, and you don't know why. And I really don't. I can't really say. I mean, I think we have similar tastes in music. Certainly. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. Yeah. I think we have a somewhat similar sense of humor. Mm-hmm. So on those, like, we meet on those lines. But I don't know what it is. I mean, I've had similar things with other people where maybe the collaboration doesn't work as well, but for some reason it just does, and I'm happy for that.
And since you were all once high schoolers, if you could give one piece of advice to a high school kid right now, knowing what you know, what would it be? I
think, the main piece of advice, this isn't going to be worded as best as I could. Must be all the texting. But the main thing of advice is just, like, things aren't as important as you think they are. Like, there's a whole world beyond this. Like, there's a lot in the world, and this is not the end all be all, even though I know it's impossible for you to not understand that right now. Like, just try to, and, like, you can relax.
That's good advice for someone of any age, actually.
That's a good point.
John?
I would say this is probably may come natural, but hold on to the friends and the friendships that you make in high school, because the world will get so much bigger, and you'll meet so many more amazing people. But if you can hold on to those roots, because those are the people that you sort of formed your beginnings of your identity with, and whenever you can reconnect with them and that part of yourself, I think it'll just serve your youth for a long time.
Yeah, and it's nice to have witnesses to your youth.
True. They'll have pictures.
Yeah.
Chris?
Don't worry about the SATs. They don't really.
Yeah.
It's not really a big deal.
Good advice.
Okay,
Arielle?
I would say you and everyone around you is never going to be done, are never going to be done growing and changing. So don't feel like it's the be-all, end-all.
Great.
Yeah.
All good
Yeah.
advice, any age. Thanks so much for being with us. We're here with Christopher Sullivan, the playwright of Carry the Zero, John Giampietro, the director, David Gellis, who played Mark, and Arielle Goldman, who played Nicole. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Playing on Air, great American short plays with great American actors. Theme and play music by Tom Cochan. Recording and sound design by John Kilgore. Associate producer, Michelle O'Brien. Literary and development management, Bonnie Antosh. Distributed by PRX, Public Radio Exchange. We invite you to visit our website at playingonair.org, where you can stream short plays and find information about our artists and plays. Join us on Facebook or Twitter, and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. While you're there, leave us a review. We value your opinion. For Playing on Air, I'm your host, Claudia Catania. Thanks for listening.